Welcome right back to the channel. Going to remind you quickly to drop a like on this video and engage with this content and share it with your friends, because if this video gets more engagement, more people will learn about Bitcoin, they'll buy Bitcoin, and for you having dropped a free like, you will magically put more money in your pocket and in your family's pocket and in those of your community. So drop a free like if you think that I've helped you, and we'll get into the content today. Today I wanted to quickly go off cuff from a topic that I had wanted to discuss and introduce something else from a recent event. So a little bit of story time. I had a mentor in the past, and this mentor introduced me to one of essentially their employees. And that employee also ended up being a mentor of mine. So I was lucky. I had gained two mentors from that connection. But very recently, I learned that those two individuals, so two people I highly regarded, looked up to, I learned that my original mentor had started a dispute with the second mentor, and that the business relationship had really crumbled, and that initial mentor had actually done some really negative things to that second friend. And while I was disappointed, and for a minute as a human, I paused and I thought, this is extremely unfortunate and this is terrible, and I wanted to almost take sides. And while I do know some of the information, none of us can ever know fully and comprehensively the situation of something that happened between two other parties or behind closed doors. But I did look at the situation on a surface level and think, this really is unfortunate that my two friends are in such a serious dispute over business matters, and that there is evidence that one of the individuals was just extremely unkind to the other individual and doing some nasty things in a business sense. So not getting deep into the drama, I thought, okay, I'll move on. I should take my advice. I learned about the situation. I processed the thought, being a human, and I thought, this is sad, this is terrible, but I'll move on. It's not my matter to get in the middle of. It's not my job to be the arbiter of who's right or wrong. I'm sure everyone in life has right moments and some wrong moments. And I do believe that everyone sort of tries their best, but still these situations can get us down. It reminded me that almost all systems that we interact with or that we start to believe in, all systems part of our life, they have unreliable spots, or there are times where they exhibit unreliable mechanisms or patterns. And it reminds us that people, because we're so variable and we're emotional, we are imperfect. Every single one of us is imperfect. People are, by their nature, unreliable. And when these things start to impact you, you could find yourself perhaps acting bitter, and also you'll initially feel very confused. But I feel like, again, this being a Bitcoin-related channel, I think about that topic of confusion, that notion of confusion. And I think, okay, there's all these very variable things happening, all these unpredictable, erratic events. There's so much volatility. But I thought of that Bitcoin network. In the back of my mind, I thought about how it consistently mines a block every 10 minutes. And it doesn't care about who's arguing with who in the micro sense. And then if you look at the macro events in the world and different nations that might be disagreeing with other nations and doing hostile things to other nations, all that can leave you so confused. But and you notice that great amount of volatility. It's a little bit scary, but one of the consistent systems is always Bitcoin. It always comes back to that consistent mining of a block every 10 minutes. And it just keeps chugging along no matter what craziness is happening around it, no matter any of the static and the noise all around it, different things crashing down, different matters swirling around. It doesn't get confused. It doesn't ever lose its way. It just executes the math and continues without drawing attention to itself. It doesn't care if everyone leaves it, or if everyone joins it, if everyone believes or everyone disbelieves, it's just going to continue doing what it does. That's all it knows how to do. So in a world where systems are so unreliable, I thought of that small comforting idea of how the Bitcoin network is one of the few reliable things. And a last point that was hammered home for me was that this idea that I read about a while ago of how you have to emotionally sometimes bury your heroes. And both of these mentors that I had, that I started this story off with, both of them I'll always consider my heroes despite some of their shortcomings. So even hearing about the mentor who was unkind to my other mentor and friend, I thought I improved so much as a person from what I heard from that initial mentor, because that mentor always constantly reinforced, be a person who acts with morality and who acts with integrity and who always is persevering and always tries their best and never complains. And no matter what that individual did afterwards, because humans are unreliable, like we said, our lives are very variable, different things come up, different emotional situations come up, and people react in different ways. Nothing takes away from the fact that that mentor taught me lessons that are aligned with my true north when he shared those lessons about integrity and about hard work and persistence. So nothing can ever do that. I feel like that energy will always exist, and I can bottle up and I can preserve that great advice that he gave me. I can preserve those strong, beautiful, great, strong pillars of things that he taught me, because they'll never cease to be right, even if the person was extremely flawed. And again, it reminds me that I'm so flawed and that I should remember daily to check myself and not be judging other people. So a lot of times you'll come to a point in life where you have to try to forget the past, bury your heroes, and in that process you become your own hero, because hopefully you've become a collection of all those strong, northward pointing things, those sort of righteous things, those things that are aligned with goodness and virtue and light. And hopefully we can carry those things on and make sure that those are the things that really persist. And then you start to idealize people, and you then start to embrace them for being the flawed people that they are. And you can even, in your mind, in the present, when you're around them, replay this in your head, that you're grateful for the good things that they teach you, that they might become lost on their path, just like you might become lost at some point, but still take the gold. Remember those incredible gold shining things that they shared with you that truly enrich your life and are actually good. So I really hope that this story that I shared helps you, and that this lesson overall helps you, and that you apply it and pick apart where I might have been wrong, pick apart things that I might have overlooked in terms of the learning points of what I shared, and do an audit of yourself to see what you can incorporate from this, or what you maybe don't want to incorporate. And I hope that it serves you well. Thank you.